We now know the meaning behind the words on the shell casings left at the scene of the deadly shooting of the United Healthcare CEO. Deny, defend, and depose were engraved on the bullets. And it's been reported that these words are a reference to a book that criticizes insurance companies in the US. It's called Delay, Deny, Defend: Why Insurance Companies Don't Pay Claims and What You Can Do About It. Now, Brian Thompson was the boss of the largest health insurer in the US, and the NYPD know he was specifically targeted, but at this point, they don't know why. There are a ton of theories flying around about this case, but their manhunt to find the suspect continues.
We were all shocked by the assassination of Brian Thompson yesterday, who is the CEO of United Healthcare. Unfortunately, this is not the first time that United Healthcare has been connected with some serious atrocities. One of the biggest stories of healthcare this year about United Healthcare has not been told, and I want to share that with you today. So please listen to the end and please share this video. In February of 2024, Change Healthcare, which is the clearinghouse United Healthcare, was cyber attacked, which means it impacted payments to healthcare organizations like small physicians' office and even hospitals. So I want to break down what this really means with an example. Imagine you own a small spa and you accept gift cards, right? And it turns out that 50% of the people that attend your spa use this gift card to get their services. And you've promised to take these cards, you have a contract, you have to recognize these gift cards. So you have half of your clients coming in, they're using the card, and suddenly the card doesn't swipe or it's not giving you money, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. So you call the gift card company and they tell you, you know what, we've had a cyber attack and I'm sorry, we're not able to issue payment to you. They can't give payment. So now you're doing all this work, doing all these massages and all these services, and the gift card program is not working. What makes this extra atrocious is there is money on these cards. The gift card company is still accepting payment for these cards, but they're not paying you. This is exactly what happened with United Healthcare earlier this year. People were still paying their insurance premiums, but those premiums were not getting to the practices in the hospitals that were delivering the care. So small doctors' offices, especially offices with less than 10 doctors, weren't getting paid for months. There are some hospitals that were losing $20 to $100 million per day because of this attack. This is a huge threat to the US healthcare system, and it's the reason why we don't want monopolies, because one company having all that power impacted care for so many patients. But wait, the fallout actually gets worse. For small practices that couldn't handle these cash flow issues, many of them struggled, some of them even went under. United Healthcare did not do much to help these practices, and in fact, they offered to give these practices a loan for the money, and sometimes only in the amount of about $4,000. Many of these practices were doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with United Healthcare, so a $4,000 loan with interest was not a very palatable option. For the practices that were in most dire need, some of them actually did go under. And guess who came around to buy them? United Healthcare. To this day, I don't think there's really been any consequences for this massive fallout. There's been no congressional action, there's been no penalties, there's been nothing. So if you were accepting health insurance in this country, you were at risk of companies like United Healthcare not paying you money. Of course, I do not condone violence, but the death of Brian Thompson yesterday highlights what can happen and how serious things can get when we mess with people's lives and livelihood. So the impact on the U.S. healthcare system by United Healthcare was astronomical, and it makes me very frustrated that they've never been held accountable for what happened earlier this year, how many physicians, patients, and institutions impacted.
Now, if you haven't seen the footage, just type United Healthcare CEO. You'll see the footage of the guy that shot him. And it's so sad. I really don't even want to say much. Just watch people's reaction to the killing of Brian Thompson.
You know why I don't care that the CEO of United Healthcare was also a husband and father? My mom died from complications due to diabetes. Diabetes requires a lot of supply, not just things like pumps, insulin, needles, test strips. It's things like batteries, alcohol wipes, Band-Aids, tape, gauze. 6 months before my mom died, her health insurance let her know that all of the things that she had been prescribed and insured for the last 10, 15 years of her life were no longer going to be covered. The insulin her life depended on, the pumps her life depended on, and the batteries that go in those pumps. The morning after my mom died, and I'm talking not even 24 hours after, 7 a.m. the morning after my mom died, a box full of all of my mom's supplies for the next 4-6 months showed up on my front step. And inside the box, with all of her supplies, there was a letter that said, Due to the change in your current situation, we have now fully insured and covered your supplies. The current change in situation was listed as death. Patient expiration. So yeah, it makes sense that all of the health insurance companies in the United States have now taken their CEOs off their websites, because it's not a matter of if this happens next, it's when.
Dude, I'm seeing so many people criticize the reactions of like excitement about the United Healthcare CEO getting shot. They're like, this is not okay. This is an innocent man who was killed. You cannot celebrate the killing of an innocent man. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, the fuck it isn't. This is a dude whose job it is to commit murder behind a corporate veil. They are wolves who want to kill you for money. These are people whose job it is to take money from you and then make you think that you're going to be covered when an emergency happens. And then when your 4-year-old daughter has leukemia, they go like, oh, dude, stall. She'll die. Just wait it out. She'll die. And if she doesn't die, buy us time to find out why we can, deny this claim. It doesn't matter. Fuck them. And I'm seeing so many people say like, vigilante justice is never okay. It's never okay to do that. It ain't okay for the first option, but nothing else is happening. You'd like to think that there's laws in place that prevent people from committing the corporate murder. Like everyone's like, oh, it should go to the courts then. If it's a crime, it should go to the courts. You'd love to see that, but it ain't happening. It doesn't happen. These people get away with it and they get paid millions for it because the people who are in charge of like, that you'd hope would create laws that would protect you, they're getting checks under the table. They don't give a fuck. They're like, the people who could stop this are like, yeah, we looked at the laws, and actually the fine print actually kind of says that this is, we actually haven't found any crimes here, so we're going to let this continue on without punishment. I did surprisingly get my 3rd yacht overnight, so I will be taking that to the south of France if you need to reach me. When you have money, you manipulate the game. And when you don't have money, you get manipulated. And you don't get to be upset when you push people to the point of having nothing, and then they act as if they have nothing. I seen one lady on here that was like, dude, she was like a rich middle-aged white woman with emerald earrings the size of fucking rocks hanging from her ears, and her hands were in frame, and the ring on her, dude, it was a fucking house on her finger, and like a red turtleneck. And she was like, when did we stop being human? This is not okay. This is an innocent man, Brian Simpson, who lost his life. Lady! This one doesn't involve you, Barbara. I don't think this one's for you, my love. Off with you. Dude, I was raised normally, I got some screws loose too, but I was raised by like a normal mom and dad, probably like a lot of us here. Like my dad, traditional dude, he was like, hey man, you want to go out and make money? You go fucking get it. But you have respect. You don't steal. You don't fuck people over, right? You're a grown ass man. You got 2 arms, 2 legs. You go make your own fucking, if you want to make a gazillion bucks, go get it, kid. But you don't fuck people over. You have some fucking honor in this world, right? You fucking do it the right way. This is not a man who got killed innocent. This is not a regular dude who got killed innocently. This is the guy who commits murder behind the corporate veil. And if you ask me, I mean, I would honestly go as far as to say this is pretty tame. Because let's entertain the hypothetical here that this is a very real chance that this was like a victim of this guy's healthcare bullshit, insurance shit, and he had a daughter with leukemia who they denied his claim and the daughter died. Like, dude, I said about my dad, like my dad is like an old, like the ultimate, like, don't fuck with my family type guy, or we're both going down together type. Like he's old school, blue collar, Alberta dude. Like, fuck, we're Canadian, so we have fucking healthcare, thank God. But dude, if you took away one of his kids because he was paying you for healthcare, and then you were like, what's your son's name? Connor? Oh, we only cover children with 7-letter names, not 6. Dude, let's just say he's not showing up with a fucking, with subsonic rounds and a mask on, dude. He's showing up with a bazooka with a switch on it. Charleston White style. Hell yeah, I got switches. And dude, I know I'm talking extremes. Like I'm talking, like I get as a blanket statement, it's not okay to fucking kill people, and you can't just go killing people. Obviously, I know that, because then the floodgates open. It's too much. I get it, right? But I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to judge what this guy was going through as if I would be on some moral high ground if I was in the same place. And everyone's like, no, it doesn't matter. You have to let it go through the courts. I pray your composure doesn't get tested like that then. And if you're some person who still doesn't understand why the masses would be rejoicing in this act, then I'm actually jealous of you, because that means you're probably some rich, detached person who doesn't know what it's like. And in which case, off with you. Love you. See you later.
Deny, defend, depose. Dr. Leslie, forensic psychologist, digging into what was written on the shell casings that took the life of the CEO of United Healthcare just yesterday. Were you denied healthcare? Do you need to defend someone like yourself or someone else? And why depose? Depose can be used in the English language to remove someone immediately from their high-ranking position. There are a million theories going around about this man, but I'm starting to think that he was in the military of some sort and he was upset and something has happened related to healthcare. And I have to mention something extremely serious. It appears that he may have been wearing Hermes sneakers that were about $1,000. And I'm sorry, could you imagine carrying out a hired hit wearing those shoes? I mean, you would feel unstoppable. I mean, damn, he did not expect anything to go wrong, and it did. And if when they catch you, go ahead and put your shoes on the real. No, actually, you've got to auction them on eBay. I mean, they're going to go for friggin' millions. Your jacket was really nice. I can't tell if there were arm pads, and then your jeans were fit to your body so well, and you were well groomed, and that charismatic smile when you were in Starbucks. I wonder who you were talking to. Was it a pretty lady? Are you trying to maybe transition into being a female and something has happened in healthcare and it has not allowed it? Did you do time in the military and somehow you know just enough to be dangerous? Are the images that we're seeing even you? Your hands look masculine, but your nails look very well groomed. You have facial hair, and maybe you haven't shaven in a day or two, which would make sense because you stayed in a hostel under a fake ID and you used cash, but you needed your Starbucks, which tells me that you really like nice things and goes in line with your shoes. It comes down to one main question. Did you make mistakes on purpose, or did you make mistakes?
So you're telling me a somewhat professional assassin travels up to New York City, knows the CEO's schedule, waits for him, has one gun, one silencer, 3 bullets, deny, defend, depose, bang, 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 lights out, disappears in a Central Park with a bag full of funny money. He's got Monopoly money. He's gone, evades all police, New York City police, FBI is looking for him, the whole country's united about this one issue. No one wants to rat on his ass. Now you're telling me they find him in Pennsylvania in a McDonald's lobby with all the evidence on him? Didn't get rid of his gun, his silencer, his 4 fake IDs, and he's got a manifesto just in his pocket? Like, come on, man. And you're gonna tell me a McDonald's employee flipping a burger was just like, I recognize those eyebrows. I don't know, man. It's not adding up to me.
How come no one has anything good to say about him? Everything I have watched on the internet is something negative. Someone has something negative to say. And I'm just wondering, really, what are your thoughts? How come no one has anything good to say about him?